Digastric will be your myelomyode, and on the other side, the digastric is taken off, and you're seeing the myelomyode. That model over there that I shared with you is exactly like this picture, and this picture is in your lab book. So that's just a little review. Another review. So if you have your lab book, it's exactly like in the lab book. And the model is exactly the same. Digastric on one side of the myelomyode below, on the other side the digastric has been removed, and showing you the flat piece of tissue of muscle, which is the myelomyode. A model that shows this, which this is the pectoralis major, and the minor lies under the major, and I suggest that you count the 1, 2, 3, 4 strips that goes up into one tendon that takes it to the bone. We have that model over there that I shared with you.
4 strips?
4 strips of muscle.
Cats have 3, right?
So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And it goes into one piece of tendon. That model is right over there that I shared with you. Also, this is the one side of the trapezius. Here is the latissimus dorsi. When you take off the trapezius, you're seeing the lower muscles or the deeper muscles. So here is the supraspinatus, the infraspinatus. Here is the rhomboid major, rhomboid minor. You're not responsible for that. The levator scapula is not on your list. Neither are you responsible for the teres minor and the teres major.
So this one here is one of the 4, or just these straight there somewhere?
So here's 1, 2, 3, and then there should be a 4th piece. Doesn't show that well. This is not.
That's a serrator, right?
That's a serrated muscle. So it's 1, 2, 3, and then there should be a 4th piece. The model over there shows the 4 pieces very nicely. Abdominis. This sternum muscle, that's your 6-pack or the washboard. That's the rectus abdominis. And then now this white, broad, flat tendon, that's your aponeurosis. And so on this side, the aponeurosis is taken off. And on this side, you're seeing portion of the aponeurosis covering some of the rectus abdominis. So remember they're pairs. So here is your linea alba, that band of connective tissue that goes from the sternum all the way down to the pubic symphysis. This is the linea alba. Here is your rectus abdominis, and aponeurosis is taken off to show you the rectus abdominis. Now, on the outside of the rectus abdominis, look very carefully now. Here, rectus abdominis would be under there, so this is showing you the external oblique attached to the aponeurosis. So here is the external oblique, and under the external oblique, when you cut through, you're seeing the internal oblique. And make another cut further in, much deeper, would be the transverse abdominis, or you can just say the transversus. So that's underneath the internal oblique. So let's show it to you on the model itself. Portion of your aponeurosis, broad, flat tendon, where the muscle is actually now going to be inserted in it. On this side, similar to the picture that I showed you just now, the aponeurosis is taken off, so you can see the rectus abdominis, segmented muscle. That's the rectus abdominis here. So on the outside, here and there, you're actually seeing. So let's look on this side. So here, attached to the aponeurosis is your external oblique. That's their external oblique. On this side, The external oblique was taken off, and so you're seeing the internal oblique. And now to get to the transversus, the transversus would be inside. That's the deeper muscle. So you can't see it on the outside because this is not cut to show you the deeper muscle. So you have to just turn it around to get to the deep muscle. Okay, so here's your aponeurosis, external oblique, rectus abdominis, internal oblique. And then your transversus would be inside. Let's look at the other model, because I can use any of these. So again, here's your aponeurosis. Your linea alba starts from here, go right through the belly button to go to the pubic symphysis. So on the side of your aponeurosis would be your external oblique. This is your rectus abdominis. This is all taken off paper thin. They're strong but paper thin. So when this was peeled off, the external oblique was peeled off with it. And so you're seeing now the internal oblique. So rectus abdominis, external oblique, internal oblique. Same thing over here. External oblique, rectus abdominis, internal oblique. Because when you peel off the aponeurosis, the external is coming off. They're strong but paper thin. And to get to the transversus, it will be inside. So again, if I have this on the test, here is the rectus abdominis, here is the internal oblique, external is attached to the aponeurosis, and inside is your transversus. Are we getting it? When you peel this off, this comes off with it. That's the external oblique. You're left with the internal oblique on this side with the rectus abdominis, and inside is your transversus. Triangular muscle in the shoulder. So this is the deltoid. This is the deltoid. Human has one, cat has 3 pieces. Deltoid. This one is coming off. So now we're going to go to you're working on this side, the muscles of the upper arm. So at this time you have to know the heads. Biceps brachies telling you that there are 2 heads. Triceps brachies telling you that there are 3 heads. So let's do the biceps first. The biceps brachii. Underneath it is the subscapularis. Not this one, these are the teres major and minor. So now, the one that is closer to the subscapularis is the biceps brachii short head. There's a dividing line right there. This is a short head, and this one is away from the subscapularis with the biceps brachii long head. You need to say whether it's short or long head to get the full credit. And lying under the biceps brachii is this muscle. You're seeing a part of it here, and you're seeing a part of it there. And that would be the brachialis. So here's the brachialis. This is the biceps brachii short head. That's the biceps brachii long head. It has 3 heads, so very carefully now. So the muscle starts from here, and this is one head, and this one starts from here too. It's a little bit split, but it's one muscle. But look what is happening. This tendon goes over the elbow, over the elbow. That one goes over the elbow. So this is biceps brachii, lateral head, this biceps brachii, long head, and then you have the little piece, which is the medial head. There's no short head.
The test, are you going to lay out the whole arm?
You'll have this entire arm. You have this as your guide. What is this? Subscapularis. Here are the two heads of the biceps brachii. This is one head, and you can see the dividing line. This is one muscle. That's another muscle. So if I tag this, what is this? You can't just say long head or short head. You're not getting the full credit. Biceps brachii, short head. That is closer to the subscapularis. And this one over here, seeing you the long tendon, biceps brachii, long head. Biceps brachii, short head, biceps brachii, long head. And the muscle that lies underneath the biceps brachii is the brachialis. Got it? You have to say the. Here's one muscle. And this one goes, the tendon goes over the elbow. That is your triceps brachii lateral head. This one is, gave you the wrong one. Excuse me. So going over, so this is part of it. Going over, this is one muscle that's split here. Goes over, that is the triceps brachii lateral head. That's the lateral head. This muscle is part of this. That's the lateral head. And this muscle now is the long head. And this little portion here is the medial head. So again, holding up, all of this is the triceps brachii lateral head. This is the triceps brachii long head, and that little piece up there is the medial head. So make sure you get the three heads separately. So here, use this as your guide. This is one muscle together.
Wait, is this is a little piece right here? This?
Okay. All of that, including this that goes over the elbow, is the lateral head.
Yeah. No, but I know, but I was asking.
And this is the long head. And this little piece is the medial head.
That's what I said. That's
Not
what I was
medium. Short head, and this one will be the biceps brachii, long head. And underneath it is the brachialis. Now, here's a muscle that begins in the elbow, and the tendon, so you see how broad it is? And the tendon takes it towards the thumb. So you can feel it. It's a broad muscle. Starts from here and goes straight to the thumb, and that is the brachioradialis. All of these that I'm showing you are tested to see how broad it is. One muscle. And it goes toward the tendon, takes it to the thumb. That's the brachioradialis. Go in the back again. And by the way, you're seeing a portion of the brachialis here. And you're seeing another portion of the brachialis. It lies under the biceps brachii. So a little piece of the brachialis is here. Other piece is there. So now, again to repeat, this is one muscle. Follow the tendon. Here's the tendon that takes it. So this is broken there, not broken, but they make it that way. It's going over the elbow, it's lateral, and that is the triceps brachii lateral head. And next to it, triceps brachii long head, and this little portion is the triceps brachii medial head. And then comes the brachioradialis. All those are tested. Now this part fits in the shoulder, so you should be familiar with that. That's the deltoid. Now, name the muscle.
Subscapularis.
Subscapularis. Name the muscle.
Biceps brachii.
One that is closer to the subscapularis head. Name the muscle.
Biceps brachii, short. Are you old?
This is short, and this is what?
Okay, well,
Long
you were
head.
on this side of the divider.
This is short head, this one is long head. What if I take this off?
Oh my
Will that be
goodness.
fair? No, because you have no landmark to tell you which is short and which is long. So I am not going to be unfair. I can only ask you for the head when it's attached, okay? So again, that goes there. Some muscles will be taken off and I'll tell you which, but if I take this off, it's totally unfair to ask you which is short and which is long. But if I put this down and I go across, how would you, what is the name? And I said, name the muscle. What is your answer?
Brachialis.
If I put this down and I put a tape across, name the muscle. What is it?
Biceps
brachialis. Or biceps brachii.
Biceps brachii, period. You can't say whether it's long or short head. Got it? So get familiar with the terms now. If I put this by itself, you're seeing two heads. I'm not asking you now for the heads. Across it would be what? Biceps brachii, period. Biceps brachii. But if I put it back here, then I can ask you, name the muscle.
Biceps brachii, short head.
Biceps.
Brachii, long.
Are you getting the idea?
Yes.
I can test you both ways. Remember what I taught you. So what is name the muscle?
Triceps,
Triceps,
brachii, lateral
lateral
head.
head.
Remember this is just a tendon going up. The muscle begins here, so I can start here. So it would be what? Triceps brachii lateral head. And this one is
Triceps brachii, long head.
what did you say?
Long head.
Long
There's no
head.
short head
I didn't
for
say short.
triceps.
I said
long
long
head. And name the muscle.
Biceps brachii, triceps brachii, medial head.
Medial.
Yeah, not biceps, triceps. So we're here. So again, triceps brachii lateral head with a long tendon going over the elbow. Can't miss it. Triceps brachii long head. Triceps brachii medial head. And now, name the muscle. Don't go by the numbers. Go by the This one. And here, brachioradialis. See, it starts from here and goes straight up to the thumb. You can feel that muscle. Broad muscle goes all the way into the thumb, the brachioradialis. So this model will also be part of the test. So get familiar with it, leave it out. So those people that are coming on Friday will have it over there.
You're missing
And by the way, name the muscle.
brachiolis.
The brachialis that lies.
You're missing the body.
Now you're seeing all of it now. See? It lies under this. That's the brachialis that lies under there.
You're missing the bottom insert.
Okay, so now, moving along. If we take this off, is the gluteus medius. This order there is the gluteus minimus, but it's not on your list, so you don't have to worry about it. But you should know this by itself. Gluteus maximus, that comes from there. And above it is the gluteus medius. And now the cordia femoralis is only found in the cat. Human beings have no cordia femoralis. And now we are looking at the tensor fasciologi. Look carefully now. This is long tendon that's called the iliotibial tract because it runs by the tibia, the iliotibial tract. But in front of the iliotibial tract, this piece of muscle, and we need the entire name, it's the tensor fascia latae. The tensor fascia latae. That little piece of muscle, very important. So to repeat, this is the gluteus maximus. That's the gluteus medius. In front of the iliotibial tract is the tensor fascia latae. And then now we come now to the, let's do these muscles first before we come to the biceps femoris. Let's do the muscles on the medial side. So here, let's start from let's do the quadriceps group. You learned the quadriceps group in the lecture. So starting from out here and moving inwards, we're looking at the medial side. So remember, this is the iliotibial tract. And not this muscle, this is the tensor fasciae latae. So what is this muscle? One of the quadriceps. And you're moving from the outside to the inside. What is this one? The vastus lateralis. So looking down at the medial side, we're going down. The muscles, you have the vastus lateralis on the outside. And this is, anyone knows this one in the middle? The rectus femoris. Here's the rectus femoris, or the kicker's muscle. And moving over, this chunky muscle would be what? The vastus medialis. The vastus medialis. There is a fourth muscle that you're not responsible for, not there, that lies underneath there. So we're not going to worry about that. So these three of the quadriceps group, the vastus lateralis, the rectus femoris, and the vastus medialis. Got it? So now, name the muscle. Tensor fascia latae. It sits right in front of your iliotibial tract. And this muscle? Vastus lateralis, rectus femoris, vastus medialis, and this that goes strap-like across the leg, what is it? The sartorius muscle, otherwise known as the Taylor's muscle. So here is the sartorius muscle. That's the sartorius. And by the way, this is testable by itself. Should be able to recognize here. Going across the leg by itself. Should be able to testable by itself. I'm showing you today those that are testable by itself. This is testable by itself, the gluteus. This is testable by itself, the deltoid. This is omissit. That's the sartorius muscle, otherwise known as the Taylor's muscle. And now, line, that is the gracilis. So this muscle right there. See, here is the Taylor's muscle that goes across. And lying next to it is the gracilis muscle. I've showed you the lateralis, the vastus, the rectus femoris, the vastus medialis. And now we're coming to the abductor muscles. So you have the abductor femoris belongs to the cat and the cat only.
Can you put on the Brazilian, sorry?
Pardon me?
The Brazilian.
Gracilis. And now coming from this bone, coming down, that is the abductor longus. The adductor, not abductor, the adductor longus. So here's the adductor longus. Here's the gracilis right in the groin. The gracilis is lying right in the groin. The adductor longus is lying next to it. The adductor is supposed to help you to bring, pointing them out. Let's see which is better. So here, let's go from the back. The gluteus maximus is taken off, so name the muscle. Gluteus medius. Lying next to this white tract is the tensor fascia latae. This is the vastus lateralis, the rectus femoris, the vastus medialis. This is the sartorius, that's the gracilis, and next to it is the adductor longus, the adductor longus. Now, going in the back, and these have the muscles intact in the back. Remember I said this one will be taken off? And now in the back. So the muscle is missing from there. Okay, this one has it intact. So you're in the back now, and you're looking now at the hamstring muscles. And so these are so you move over, and then you're now hitting this muscle, would be the biceps femoris. So you're looking, if you go up to the page, on the word under tensor fascia latae, the term, the biceps femoris. So how do you find it? So here, Here's your tensor fasciolate, and when you move over, you're actually on the biceps femoris. It's supposed to be two heads, and so you're showing one head and the other head is underneath it. So if I tag this, I'm looking for the biceps femoris. And now lying next to the biceps femoris, then you have two other very important muscles. So you have under deep muscles, it says semitendinosus, and further down on the page, it says semimembranous. And so they lie right beside the biceps femoris. Here's the biceps femoris. So lying next to that, there are now two muscles, and you can see the dividing line. This muscle on top, this is one muscle on top, and here's part of the second muscle underneath, and here's the other part of the second muscle that lies underneath. This one shows that it's underneath, but there's a part of it showing on that side. So watch carefully now. This muscle all the way down, and I think it's labeled as number 16. This is one muscle that goes all the way down the tendon, and that's the semitendinosus, part of the hamstring muscles. And then this part and that part is the second muscle that lies under the semitendinosus, and that is the semimembranous. Testable by itself. Please come forward and look at it. Cover the numbers. This is one muscle that goes all the way down. This is a semitendinosus. Semitendinosus. It lies on top of this muscle. This is a portion of the muscle here. That is the other portion. You can see the dividing line. This muscle and that is the same muscle, but this is showing you that it's under there, and this is another part of it which is sticking on the side. So 74, all of it, semitendinosus. This and that is one muscle, and that is semimembranous. So it's going to be testable by itself.
So this part is the semitendinosus.
All of this is semitendinosus.
And this on the outside.
This and outside is underneath this muscle, and that's called the semimembranous. When we get to the cat, you'll see it very carefully. So again, on top, get even with it, is the semitendinosus. Lying under the semitendinosus, you're seeing a part there, and a part there is number 77, which is the semimembranous. It's testable by itself, and this one is testable by itself. What is this one?
Clitoris.
Sartorius.
Tory.
Looks like a piece of jerky.
This one's not part of the hamstring.
Yes. Biceps femoris.
And where's that one?
Here it is. Part of the hamstring. Biceps femoris. Medial tendon, and we should know where is it inserted. Where is it inserted? Where is it inserted? In the calcaneus or the heel bone. So the Achilles tendon or the calcaneal tendon is inserted in the heel bone. That can be a hard question. And the muscle that lies under the gastrocnemius, here's a muscle. What is it?
Soleus.
The soleus. So again, here is the step taken off, by the way. So I can take this off for you to identify that's the gastrocnemius. Underneath it lies the soleus. The soleus cannot be separated from it. But here is the Achilles tendon or the calcaneal tendon. And then turn it around. You have the last muscle. And this is the muscle that runs along the tibia and goes straight to the big toe. So what is that? The last muscle on your page. The tibialis anterior. Tibialis posterior is behind, it's not on your checklist. It's the tibialis anterior that is on your checklist. Got it? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, so let's go over these muscles, and then we're done with this. See how quickly it went today? So the rest of the time we'll spend on the cat.
The external oblique.
Internal oblique.
That would be internal oblique, correct?
Sorry.
Because remember, on this side you have the aponeurosis, and attached to the aponeurosis would be your external oblique. So when you tear off the aponeurosis, these are paper thin but very strong muscles. When you tear this off, you're actually tearing off also the external oblique. So this is the external oblique. This is the rectus abdominis that is under the aponeurosis. And this side would be the internal oblique. And on here would be the transversus. The band of connective tissue that starts from the xiphoid process and go down to the pubic symphysis. That's a linear advert. The opposite in the back, what is the band of connective tissue that starts from the nape of the neck down to the buttocks? What is it? The raphe. Okay, so name the muscle. The deltoid. And now, name the muscle. Short head. Name the muscle. Name the muscle. The brachialis that lies under the biceps brachii. Now we come to the triceps. And now all of this, and it goes over the elbow, all of this muscle. And name the muscle. Long head. And name the muscle. Medial head. And name the muscle. Broad. Brachioradialis. Okay, so moving along. Name the muscle. Name the muscle. Name the muscle. Tensor fascia latae. Name the muscle. Vastus lateralis. Name the muscle. Sartorius. Name the muscle. Gracilis. Name the muscle. Adductor longus. So when you walk over part of the hamstrings, the biceps femoris, and this one on top, semitendinosus, and lying under the semitendinosus, semimembranous. These muscles, under the gastrocnemius, soleus. This is the calcaneal tendon or the Achilles tendon inserted in the heel bone or the calcaneus, and in front, tibialis anterior. So now you can take your break, so please be back. Latissimus dorsi, just the same position as yours. That is, here's your spinal trapezius, acromiotrapezius, claviotrapezius. This is your latissimus dorsi.
Awesome.
Latissimus dorsi. We're going to move on. So I'm lifting up the acromiotrapezius and pull back. We don't cut off muscles, by the way. Pull it back to the spinal cord and a little bit of the, here's the latissimus dorsi. We go down to expose another set of muscles. So just trying to pull it back. You can see the fascia holding it down. See if you have some pins from the tray over there, Mary. You can bring some pins so we can pin that back.
From the
Trapezius that I'm also going to pin back.
Thanks, Kelly.
So now you're going to see a difference between cats and human. What is this that I'm exposing here? What is this?
Looks like a scapula.
That's a scalpel. That's a scapula. That's a scapula.
So beautiful.
That's a scapula. And this would be what, using the thumb? What is that? The spine of the scapula. And so above the spine, what is the muscle? Supraspinatus. And below the spine, infraspinatus. But you see the difference now. In humans, the supraspinatus, if you look at the model, is small in comparison to the infraspinatus. In the cat, the supraspinatus, this is all of the scapula that I'm lifting up. You notice that the supraspinatus is larger than the infraspinatus. Agreed?
Yes.
And now, so we are showing the scapula, and we are showing the spine, and here's the supraspinatus and the infraspinatus. And there are some muscles that go around there. And same location as in the human. So what is this now? Going this way.
Underneath it?
This muscle running alongside. Rhomboids.
Oh, major mind.
Look at the model over there. Let's go back over here. Same location. Let's look at over here. You're seeing the supraspinatus in the cat now, with the spine and the infraspinatus running alongside what it is. Minor. So we're looking for them in the cat now. Here's the spine, supraspinatus, infraspinatus, and then now we're looking at the side here. And so now, let's spin this down. The small one would be the rhomboidus minor, and the larger piece going up would be the rhomboidus major.
Well, I can't see the difference.
You're fine.
This one is wider but more serrated. That's the minor going up. And here's the major. And then there's one that goes straight up to the neck, which you can't see that well. That's the rhomboidus cactus. If we were to follow it, it would go straight up to the neck. So we can pull this a little bit more to get a better idea. Here is the minor. And all of this broad piece is the major. So again, here's the minor. You're seeing more of the muscle. And that's the major. Minor, major. If I go across, what would be the answer?
Rhomboid.
Rhomboids. The rhomboids or the rhomboidus. You can't see, I'm not separating minor from major. So that's the rhomboid. See if you can find it on your cat. Let's deal just with the rhomboids, even if you don't separate them out. So again, you're pulling back the trapezius, cut off nothing. Pull back the acromion You're seeing now the scapula, and so you can hold up the scapula. You're seeing, so Kelly, if you come back here, please. Kelly. You can get a better view. So if you do like that, you're seeing that this is wider. That's a rhomboidus major. And this strip out here is a rhomboidus minor. If I go across, I'm looking for the rhomboids. So let's see. You just want to work on one side. Here it shows you beautiful. Goes towards the arm, and here's the other piece going on that side. So above it lies the pectoralis minor, above that, and below it is the pectoralis major. The minor, as you can see, is larger than the major, so it's opposite in the cat. And below that is a muscle that humans do not have from there to there, and that's called the xiphi humerales. So I'm showing you the pectoralis major above the pectoralis. Frontalis. It lies on the other nice picture there too. It lies on the frontal bone. So this would be the frontalis. It lies on the frontal bone. And now we're looking for the orbicularis oris. And so that's the muscle around the lips. So orbicularis oris, circular muscles, going right around the lips. You were tested on that today. So that's the orbicularis oris. I'm pointing out right now. And now, orbicularis oculi. Again, circular muscles going around the eyes. Orbicularis oculi. See how easy they are? Orbicularis, not orbicularis, temporalis. Line on the temporal bone. So that's a temporalis. And now we come to the zygomaticus muscles. So there are two types. You have the zygomaticus major and the zygomaticus minor. So now be careful. If I tag over here, then that would be zygomaticus. But this larger one, see it splits into two. That would be the zygomaticus major. And the thinner one is the zygomaticus minor. So your paper says zygomaticus. Come up closer and look at it. Because remember, I am telling you now it's going to be on the test. So here, if I go here, I'm looking for zygomaticus, right? If I go on this, it splits into two. So that would be, there's a muscle going. So that would be the zygomaticus major. And the thinner one is the zygomaticus minor. So if I tag here, the time of the test, I'm expecting zygomaticus. Don't just put major, because there are many muscles that are majored. Zygomaticus major, zygomaticus minor. If I go above, it's just what? Zygomaticus. Got it?
Can you,
Okay, so up here it splits into two. The larger one is the zygomaticus major. The thinner one is the zygomaticus minor. Got it? Yes. So up here, before it splits, would be the zygomaticus. When it splits into two, this becomes the zygomaticus major. The thinner one is the zygomaticus minor. Got it? And here's the masseter, folks. Here's the masseter. That big muscle in the cheek. That's the masseter. That's the masseter right there. So now, to make sure that you have it right, this is a salivary gland right there. That's a parotid gland. And the parotid gland lies right behind this big muscle, which is the masseter. That's the masseter right there.
call it the carotid? What do you call it?
Parotid, P-A-R-O. That's the parotid gland. It's a salivary gland. So here's your masseter. Got it? I'm adding one more, which I'm going to put on the board, and that's the buccinator. So to this list, I'm adding the buccinator. So here's the buccinator. It lies in front of the masseter. The masseter is the big muscle for chewing the food. It raises and lowers the mandible for chewing, this big muscle. And lying in front of it is the buccinator. So how to remember the buccinator? Here's a smaller salivary gland, and here is the duct bringing the saliva to empty it in the mouth, and this duct pierces the buccinator. So that's how you'll get it right. This is the buccinator. So we are going to go over it again. So name the muscle. Name the muscle. Name the muscle. Name the muscle. Oculi. Orbicularis oculi. Now, name the muscle. Masseter. Here is the salivary gland. This muscle in front, that's the masseter. Name the muscle. Buccinator. Here is the duct piercing that muscle. That would be the buccinator. Now, name the muscle. What is it? Zygomaticus. Zygomaticus. Name the muscle. Zygomaticus major. Name the muscle. zygomaticus minor. See now, we're not perfect. The zygomatic, where here is the minor, followed by the major. The minor is in front, the major is behind. So they made a mistake there, but we're going by the size. The larger one is the zygomaticus major. The thinner one is the zygomaticus minor. Got it? So if I tag this, it's the major. If I tag this one, it's also the major. I'm not going by location, I'm going by the size. And the thinner one is the zygomaticus minor. Are we understanding? And we know where the buccinator is. Here. This pierces the buccinator. That duct pierces the buccinator. So we're sternocleidomastoid, this muscle that goes up. And here it is. You have two pieces going up. And it inserts in the mastoid process of the temporal bone. See the two pieces going up? So if I go across, I'm looking for what? The sternocleidomastoid. It goes straight up and inserted in the mastoid process of the temporal bone. So that's the sternocleidomastoid. This one also shows you the sternocleidomastoid, maybe even a little clearer. It shows you one is going to the sternum and the other one to the clavicle, goes straight up and is inserted in the mastoid process of the temporal bone. You had it on your test today. So that's the sternocleidomastoid. Now, the digastric and the mylohyoid. The digastric is a muscle that's also going to help with chewing. Never heard about it before? And the mylohyoid. See now, mylohyoid, that's telling you that it's actually inserted on the hyoid bone. Remember that hyoid bone that we studied before? So now, my job is to show you where the mylohyoid is and where the digastric. It's under the chin. It's under the chin. So these are actually V-shaped muscles. So if you have the chin like that, and so now they're actually coming up like that. So this would be a strip of muscle, another strip of muscle that goes up, make a nice V shape. So these two are going to be the digastric muscles. They're actually in pairs. Digastric, you have a nice picture in your book. So here, this would be the digastric. So you're seeing one piece of the digastric lying on top of a muscle which is below. So underneath there's another piece of muscle. Underneath there's another piece of muscle. The one on top, superficial, that's the digastric muscle. You notice there's a flat muscle underneath it. And that's the mylohyoid. So on this side of the chin, what is taken off? Hello, hello. Let's go back over here. This is one strip of the digastric muscle lying under the chin that help to raise and lower the lower jaw bone. So this is the digastric. It lies on top of this flat muscle. And that flat muscle is the mylohyoid. In this side of the chin, what is missing? Look carefully. What is missing?
The digastric.
The digastric is taken off. But what is shown there? The mylohyoid. So this is the mylohyoid without the digastric. On this side you have the digastric lying on top of the mylohyoid. They're testable muscles, they're under the chin. So I'll point those out again. Let's look on this model to see what is happening here. So again, this little piece of muscle, you're just seeing one half. So what is this muscle lying on top?
Digastric.
The digastric. And what is underneath the digastric? The mylohyoid. So again, the digastric lies on top of the mylohyoid. If you look in your book, it gives you a very nice picture of what I'm showing you. So let's repeat this and do all of those muscles, the head and the neck. I'm not adding anything to the muscles of the neck. So let's go over this again. Name the muscle. Name the muscle. Name the muscle.
Oris.
Orbicularis oris. You need to say everything. Orbicularis oris. Name the muscle. Oculi. Okay. Name the muscle. Go by size. Major. Minor. If I go above, zygomaticus. It hasn't split yet. Now, name the muscle. Name the muscle. So look where the duct inserts, and that would be the buccinator. Got it? So now, onto the chin. Here is one half of that V-shaped muscle. Digastric. And line below the digastric would be the... On this side, you're not seeing the digastric. It's taken off, but you're seeing what? The mylohyoid. Very good. So those are the muscles of the